The concept of Vegito having kids in Dragon Ball is a very far-fetched and out-of-this-world idea, but in fact couldn't be further from the truth in Dragon Ball multiverse. The most powerful warrior to ever live in Universe 16 is also the father to the most powerful half-breed that's ever lived, Vegito's daughter Bra, a warrior of seemingly infinite potential. She's second to none next to her father and takes up lots of traits before him as she continues to grow and evolve. And on today's video, we are going to be touching up on the origins of Bra, how she became so powerful, and her greatest weaknesses as we explore the daughter of the legendary Vegito next. Before the Omni King's Tournament of Power, before the invasion of Goku Black and Zamasu, before the battle between Universe 6 and 7, before Frieza's resurrection, and even before Beerus's arrival, there existed a timeline where two of the mightiest Saiyan warriors, Goku and Vegeta, never separated after using the Potara earrings to fight against Super Buu. And during their struggle before Dragon Ball Super's retcon, the Potara earrings were slated to last forever, never being able to separate into the individual that you once were. And after ripping apart and permanently destroying Kid Buu in their timeline, the effects of Vegito's fusion was beginning to shine and lasting forever, in which thus the story of Goku and Vegeta had now concluded as a new warrior more so powerful than both of them was born. Soon after, the families of both Goku and Vegeta were unaccepting of Vegito entering their lives. Chi-Chi and Bulma both came into conflict about accepting their husband as one. That is of course until Chi-Chi came to the understanding that since Goku had been dead for many years, that she didn't want to steal Bulma's current husband who was alive, and thus conceded to Bulma in only telling Vegito to be a good dad to Goten, in which as a result, Vegito ended up with Bulma instead of Chi-Chi. Now during this time, life had resumed its course, with Vegito having to live two lives in taking care of both Chi-Chi and Bulma's family. Vegeta and Bulma both had a daughter later on, who in fact was born with tremendous potential, in which right around the same time, Gohan and Videl also had a daughter named Pan, in which as a direct result later on, both children became Vegito's students. We see how Bra comes knocking on Gohan's door and requesting to train with Gohan, as Gohan originally thought she just came to play. Upon being on the battlefield, we get to see Bra's demonstration in power as she goes on to state, "Why can't I turn into a Super Saiyan? Why are you and Dad so invincible?" As Gohan laughs and saying, "Well, you're only 6 years old, and none of us even approached your power at that age, and you're incredibly strong, so you should be happy," as Bra responds by saying, "I won't wait. I'm too powerless and I hate it. I have to find a way. A trigger. You always win, Gohan. I feel so weak against you. So weak." Which further triggers Bra in unlocking the Super Saiyan form at the age of 6, even younger than Goten did in Dragon Ball Z. But then that's when the tides begin to shift. We see how Gohan, even in his ultimate power, pales in comparison to the powers of Super Saiyan Bra. Keep in mind, she is the descendant of Vegito, who is supposed to be regarded as the strongest living entity in that universe. And we see the demonstration of power that Bra begins to reveal as she shoots down Ki Blast upon Gohan, as Gohan cries out, "No, never shoot towards the ground," as he deflects her attacks. But even then, at the age of 6, Bra goes on to state in a fight, "There are no rules, Gohan." And Bra's power compared to Ultimate Gohan is so vast that even Vegito, who is far out on a different planet, begins to sense the immense power coming from his daughter. Which even then, Gohan makes the claim in saying, "If you don't calm down right now, I'll have to stop you by force." And even taking it upon himself, Gohan had to do everything in his power to further create enough energy in stopping Bra from further destroying him and possibly the entire planet. As before unleashing her massive attack, Pan goes on to state, "Because you weren't using your full force before makes me even madder." So Bra's overconfidence and her arrogance is beginning to shine as Gohan unleashes a massive Kamehameha, overtaking Bra, in which later on we see how Vegito returns from the planet that he was on and having to later speak to Bra and letting her know you have to have self-control. which later leads Vegito to take his daughter within the hyperbolic time chamber to train, which Vegito tells her to become a Super Saiyan, as Bra's first initial response is stating that she can't. She needs to be angry, and that's the problem. Vegito states strong emotions trigger the transformation the first time, but after we need to control it. You can get angry here for the training, there's no risk. But meanwhile, back outside, it's been only 10 minutes and we see Vegito storming on out in his complaint that Bra simply won't listen to him. As Vegito basically gives up and using instant transmission to leave, Gohan steps up and saying, "I'm going in." And as Gohan walks in, he goes on to tell Bra, "Hey Bra, I'm taking care of you now, okay? Are you hungry?" As Bra responds by saying, "Yes, I'm always hungry," which in turn Gohan responds by saying, "Then turn into a Super Saiyan for me." Oh, and by the way, Trunks is outside and he says, "You fight like a girl," which basically gets Bra to transform further, but upon doing so, Gohan tells her to remain in that form while she begins to eat, which further explains Gohan's training in allowing her to maintain this form, as we see Pan walk in as all three begin to play video games, eat food, and to a certain extent, train Bra in the process. She seems to take her attitude from the Vegeta side of the fusion, but it's also her overconfidence that seems to be getting the best of her. As once more upon leaving the time chamber, we see how Vegito offers one more challenge, and that's for her to battle against adult Gotenks. In the process of doing so, we see how a simple 6-year-old Super Saiyan is able to best up the adult Gotenks version of Dragon Ball Multiverse, which as everyone is beginning to watch this battle, Bra is not even fazed by the amount of attacks that Gotenks is unleashing, but instead counters him by unleashing attacks of her own, which by the end of their battle, we see how Pan is beginning to generate enough force in her attack to where Vegito's about to intervene, with Gohan having to stop him and saying, "No, don't move, Dad," which Bra not only deflects the attack away from Gotenks, but also manages to pants him, embarrassing him in front of everybody. But that just goes to further show that a 6-year-old Super Saiyan, the spawn of Vegito, is this powerful that she's not only able to toy with a Super Saiyan fusion, but also embarrass him at the exact same time. Bra's most noticeable aspect about her personality is her overinflated ego, and she acts incredibly condescending as she looks down at her opponents, basically having to underestimate them before the fight even begins. But her arrogance also extends far enough to other contestants and even her own allies. However, during the time of Vegito and Super Buu's battle in space, Bra assisted her father Vegito by transferring herself and her brother Gohan in the battle of facing off against Majin Buu, as even with Vegito and Gohan, the fight proved to be very difficult against an overwhelmingly powerful Super Buu until Bra resorted in using Super Saiyan 2, a form in which even her father Vegito had forbidden her to do, in the extreme case of her having to unleash deadly power. However, as a direct result, we do get to see father versus daughter later on in the Dragon Ball Multiverse manga, as Captain Ginyu had managed to infest Bra's body in taking over her vessel, as we later get to witness the battle between Super Saiyan 2 Bra and Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, but not for long after Super Saiyan 3 Vegito had managed to put her down in one simple attack, labeling Super Saiyan 3 Vegito in being the strongest warrior of that remaining universe, with Bra having to come in at number 2. And with Bra having to be the spawn of Vegito, she does possess the most amount of potential within that residing universe. But in the end, what do you all think about Bra and her potential in the Dragon Ball Multiverse manga? What are your overall thoughts on the character yourself? Do you guys like the character? Do you guys dislike the character? And how strong could she potentially be if she were to continue her training? We would like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all once more for watching. If of course you guys love anime and Dragon Ball, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button and enable all notifications to never miss a single upload. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below. Tune back in for more, and we'll be seeing you all in the next Dragon Ball video. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.
This is the perfect being. Before I destroy your favorite heroes, I'm going to need you to subscribe to the perfect channel UnrealEntGaming and turn on notifications to never miss a single upload. Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead. Along with your entire planet.